Hey there, Postal here. Today we are taking out, I guess it's a relatively rare plane. There is a non-rare version of it in the game, and I'm going to recommend you get it. Well, I mean, you don't need to get any damn premium plane. This is the P-39N1. This is a special aircraft. It's technically not a premium. It's a premium, but it's not something that you can get readily, like right now, for gold or cash. There's a P-39Q, which is it's a Soviet plane. It's a Lend-Lease P-39. It's pretty dang good as well. Why do I like this plane? Well, basically it's a pocket P-38. In the same way that an F-6U is a pocket F-2H, this has the same kind of gun layout. It's slightly weaker, of course, because they're not a heavy fighter, but you have this awesome 37mm cannon, which hopefully we'll be able to get to see it doing some work. Got a Yak-1M on the enemy team that can certainly outmaneuver us, and an A6M5, which can definitely outmaneuver us. So typically I rely on my maneuverability in this particular plane. It looks like I'm going to have to rely on my brute force 37mm cannon to blow frickin' planes up. Let's see if we can do that in a quick manner. Quick, 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 quick! Oh shoot, there's actually gonna be like right behind me. Man, he's moving quick. There we go. Excellent. Let's go ahead and utilize this big old cannon. It's not like that world's biggest thing, you know, but 37 mil at tier 6 on a light fighter. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and turn over. There we go. All right, so let's continue on, shall we? We'll send people there. We're gonna head to the middle. See if we can't knock out a ground attack plane. I'm gonna hang on to my boost just in case I need a boost away from who's on this is on our team. Oh, Mark. Mark's a really good player. At least when he's on the enemy team. I'm sure he'll be good when he's on my team too. So he's one of those guys you run into and you're like, dang it, it's gonna make my life difficult when he's on the enemy team. Alright, so cool. We'll defend the center a little bit here. I always wonder, I need to ask him, MSU stands for Michigan State or is it Mississippi State? Like what MS what's the M in the MSU stand for? Cool. Well, are we hanging out here a little bit more, I guess? It would kind of, sort of seem so, wouldn't it? F4U, can I get you? Nope, I can't, but I can get you. Aim a little bit further out with this 37. What's really great about the N is it has so many little machine guns working at its, working for you, that even if your 37mm cannon overheats like it just did, and it's like perfect timing on my discussion point, you have 6 machine guns. You have 2 synchronized 50 cal machine guns. You have 4 wing-mounted 30 caliber machine guns. Now, granted, they're not doing a whole heck of a lot of damage to the 30 cals anyway. Let's not crash. No lawn darting needed. They're just not doing a lot of damage. But if you don't need to do a lot of damage, then they're great. There we go. That's pretty nice. That's pretty sweet. Excellent. Just gonna hit and run. Got ourselves an Akamatsu, as you do. Not really having to deal with, we keep sending people to the airbase and it's forcing, or it's kinda sorta forcing, the Zero and the Yak to stay at that airbase. And they are not leaving that airbase, which is allowing us to just be 3 sectors up for a longer time. And I'm not having to dogfight a Zero or a Yak. I've got literally no reason to leave the center here. I'm a light fighter. I don't get extra points for capping. Although, one thing that's really great about this plane is it is pretty good at the cap because of the 37mm cannon. It can certainly do that pretty darn well. If need be, but don't force anything when you're in a light fighter, unless you've got to, right? Let's not kill ourselves. We're doing pretty well. We don't need to kill ourselves. We need to pay attention to the map, although I can clearly outduel that Yak, as I've done twice now. I don't know what I can do against the Zero, so I want to... Oh no, am I going to regret this? Phew. I was afraid of a bomb drop. I was afraid I was going to give a bombardier there. Glad I didn't. Let's go ahead and turn around. We're now 4 sectors to 1 because we're forcing the enemy to... Oh shoot, we're going to lose this sector, aren't we? Can I? Can I? Nope, can't. Well, that's a big ball of stink. But we're still up 3-2, so it's not the worst ball of stink. Gonna boost ourselves up to a higher altitude here. We definitely... Freaking jeez, an ace, really? I feel like this is the easiest ace I've ever gotten, to be honest. It's probably not a true statement, but it certainly feels like that. Anyway, we still don't know what the Zero is capable of, and so we need to be mindful of that situation. When and if we run into him, wherever the heck he's at. I guess I could hit the tab button and see what kind of personal points he's gotten.
That's it. There's no way to break through for you now. You're on your own.
Paying attention here to the map, maybe a little bit. All out of guns here. Come on. There we go. Oh shoot. It's the Zero. Let's see if I can't boost the hell out of dodge here. Nope, I'm dead. Got my tail knocked out as well. Damn it. Damn it! Really annoying. Flippin' G's. Bad timing on dying, of course. Hopefully we'll actually be able to win this. And we're up by so many freaking points. What a terrible time to be not focused on the map, or at least not realizing the Zero was involved. Well, it's up to you, Mark. I'm really annoyed myself. But I think we'll be okay. Looks like Mark's got it under control. Luckily, like I was saying earlier, Mark is a good pilot. Usually makes for close battles when he's on the enemy team. So having him on my team gonna be a good thing, hopefully. So the only plane left is that A675, really. And he is defending the sector. So I was gonna say he's not even attacking. So we were set up for the win there. Wow. Well, that's one way to start the whole mission for Elliot Milley. 21,000 out of the 45,000 needed. So 23 kills there, 21,000 personal points, 6,500 aerial damage, 800 capture points. That was just defending. And honestly, a lot of this particular game, like the amount of personal points, had to do with the enemy team not pushing any kind of attack, right? Because they were more focused on defending, it allowed me to attack that center's location. And once we're up 3 sectors to 2, like they need to get a 3rd sector back and then hold on to it for a little while just to catch up. And they never did that. So yeah, I know. I'm sitting here going, wow, you know, if somebody just hops on and watching this video, they're going, well, yeah, the enemy team didn't really push to try to take sectors. But part of that, I'd like to say, was on me by sending people to that airbase, kind of forcing their hand a little bit to stay there. And also holding on to that center location, utilizing this ridiculously awesome 37mm cannon to take some chunk damage out of any of the anything that really came my way. Multi-rolls, ground targets, ground attackers, excuse me, heavy fighters especially. This 37mm just really loves tearing through that. Then with your supplemental damage of your machine guns, you're able to whittle down or set on fire any of the fighters or multi-rolls that try to hang around with you. This P-39 is a lot more maneuverable than your P-51s, but it is not on the same level as a Spitfire. At least I don't think so. Now he says that out loud. Let's double check here really quick. Well, I mean, I guess it's a little bit. I've boosted my maneuverability up. Spitfire's a little bit more maneuverable than the P-39, but it is kind of comparable. I always compare it kind of, if you think of the P-39 as being slightly more maneuverable than a Lavochkin, you'll set yourself up for success. You're maneuverable, but you're not that maneuverable. You're kind of in the middle. And so you can outmaneuver things like P-51s, BF-109s, I-210s. You cannot outmaneuver things like... Oh, you can outmaneuver Lavochkin, of course. You can't outmaneuver Zeros and Yaks. And to a greater extent, or maybe a lesser extent, I should say, Spitfires, because most Tier 6 Spitfires are going to run into are, of course, going to be specialized. And God knows everybody and their brother tries to make Spitfires the most maneuverable thing in the world. Let me see if I can get it above 100. This plane is not, you know, it's got that nice balance when it comes to that maneuverability. And what I like about it is you still have a decent amount of airspeed. Your altitude performance is just okay. But it's about getting this cannon on target. What this actually reminds me of, it kind of sort of reminds me of things like Yak-9. In that you've got this huge cannon. What I like about this over the Yak-9 is, obviously it's a lot more maneuverable than a Yak-9. You've got the machine guns here. You've got a plethora of them on the P-39N. You've got just the 250 cals on the P-39Q, but still, that's really all you kind of need in this particular plane. It's a really well-balanced machine, and it can do a little bit of everything. So I'm going to take a step back and tell you, this plane can attack sectors. The 37mm cannon on this plane will allow you to actually flip zones if you so choose. I know so many times you go out in a Yak, or you go out in even a Spitfire, Zeros, things of that nature. Hell, I mean, you can name off, I don't even need to just name maneuverable planes. A P-51A, you're not going to be able to flip sectors easily. Yeah, you can flip sectors in any plane, but it's not a simple, quick task in a plane that doesn't do a whole lot of damage. The P-39N and P-39Q with the 37mm cannon can flip sectors pretty quickly because you're doing chunk damage, and it's very, very nice. You can get rid of those high health pool planes pretty darn quickly in this plane. My suggestion would be to definitely use engine cooling for one of the consumables, so that way you've got that extra 10 seconds of boost to get you from sector to sector. And that's the main reason I use the engine cooling on this plane, is to either go from low altitude to high altitude to try to get a bomber or a high altitude heavy fighter that's trying to get away, or I use it to get from sector to sector so I can put this hub-mounted 37mm to good use. As far as the other consumables are concerned, I've just got the standard setup, and my quote-unquote standard setup for consumables for a fighter, which is first aid dressing, pneumatic control assist, which I typically use on all my fighters, but I definitely use it on my more tourney fighters, engine cooling, which I typically use on all my fighters, unless the engine gets knocked out a lot. But the engine does not get knocked out a lot in this plane, and so engine cooling is definitely the way to go. I use universal ammo. It doesn't tell me what increased chance of fire and inflicting critical damage is, but if it's increased, it's worth 6,000 credits in my opinion. And so I always use universal ammo. I see no reason to use any of the premium ammos. I just don't. As far as equipment is concerned, I've got the collimator sight on here to allow for a little bit better accuracy. I've kind of got a balanced approach right now. I don't know what steps I'm going to take once I specialize this plane, which I could already specialize it if I chose to. But right now it's just a balanced approach, so lightweight wing frame and the improved uprated engine. That'll just help with my acceleration and help with my maneuverability. Got to keep in mind this is also a premium plane, so I've thrown my frickin' F-86A pilot in here. It's my highest point pilot. It's only 11 points, but still, that's my highest point pilot. And this is a balanced approach pilot as well. If you've seen any of my F-86 videos, I've got a balanced approach to that plane too. So adding, adding some boost, adding some maneuverability, adding some. I love evasive target for a maneuvering plane like the F-86, and it certainly helps out on the P-39 as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I definitely enjoyed flying this plane. I absolutely love it. I think it's honestly on the verge of overpowered, considering it's a premium. And you get a lot of the equipment slots available right off the bat. I'm not sure. I mean, I'd be hard pressed to think of a tier 6 fighter, tech tree fighter, that's on the same level as this plane. Obviously there's planes that are more maneuverable and there's planes that are more speedy, but this plane has such a great balance to its airframe and such a hard-hitting armament that I really do think it's easily one of the top few tier 6 fighters in the game, and it very well may just be the best. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you happen to have the P-39N? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm off my frickin' rocker? Do you have the P-39Q? Do you like that particular plane, or are you annoyed that you purchased it for the Soviet tech line? Tell me your thoughts down below. Not obviously my playing style is going to differ from other people's playing style. I am a fighter pilot by choice, I guess, or by trade, I don't know, by my tip. When I started playing the game, I just felt I was at one with the fighters, and so it was, for me, learning to play GAs was a big deal. Learning to play bombers is going to be a big deal. Playing fighters kind of came naturally. I know it doesn't come naturally to everybody, so I'd love to hear everybody's opinion on this particular plane. I don't think I'm the end-all be-all when it comes to opinions, so I hope to hear from you in the comments below or on my Discord, and otherwise I hope you all have a great day. Bye.